Matchmaker.fm connects podcasters and guests. Welcome to Matched, the show where we talk to some of the most incredible guests available for an interview right now. I'm your host, James Mulvany, founder of Matchmaker.fm, and this is Matched.
Good morning. I'm Dr. Richard Johnson, and you can find me on Matchmaker FM.
Let's start off then with a couple of quick icebreakers. If you can meet one dead celebrity, who would you choose to meet?
I'd go with Abraham Lincoln. I think he would be an interesting gentleman to talk with, particularly with the times that we have going now.
He certainly would. Okay, and if you could learn any language sort of instantly, what would it be?
I would think it would be Italian. And Italian simply because I know many people in the Italian community, and it would be wonderful to be able to converse with them in their own language.
Yeah, and you'd always get the best food at the restaurants then, I reckon, as well.
Absolutely.
All right. So for people who don't know what you do, would you mind sort of just start off by introducing yourself and sort of explain what you do and your kind of field of expertise?
Okay. Again, I'm Dr. Richard Johnson. And what I do is I deal with people who have addictions to tobacco. Or nicotine, I should say. And I developed a program called the Kick Butts program that helps people to become non-smokers again. And it's not just a quit smoking program, because people who quit smoking is a different category than people who become non-smokers again.
Okay.
It really sounds the same, but it's different. And from my research into that program that I developed about 4 years ago, I started looking at this pandemic that we have. Well, now everybody knows what that means, with vaping and e-cigarettes. And we have a huge problem with that. So I've just written the book, What Parents Should, Must, Need, Have to Know about vaping and e-cigarettes, because it really is a scary thing if you know what it is. So that's what I do.
That's interesting. I think, you mentioned the vaping thing. Obviously, it's almost become like this craze. I assume lots of children now they're not even going down the route of cigarettes. They're just starting vaping because you can get hold of these things so easily, right? So you can buy one on eBay. It's not like you don't have to be licensed to sell them. So, it's become like, I think the word pandemic is quite an interesting way of describing it. What sort of made you aware of this in the first place?
Well, I started noticing it quite a few years ago, that when it started to come into the market, they've been around for a long time, but they really started, picking up probably 10 or 12 years ago. I started to notice it then. But, lately it's been, it has been, the issue here is it has been made socially acceptable. That's the thing that got me to finally write the book was about a year and a half ago. I was at a health club, and I was looking at joining, and one of the young guys, about 20, 21, we got talking about what I did, and he says, well, there's probably a lot of people here that, could use, could quit. And I said, well, he said, they don't smoke, but they vape. And I said, well, do you vape? And he goes, oh, no, I don't vape, I Juul. So Juul being the dominant force in the market. And I said, my question then kind of shocked him. I said, well, how do you like being an addict? And he said, what do you mean, an addict? And I said, well, you're addicted to nicotine. He goes, well, no, I'm not. And I said, well, how long can you go before you have to take another hit off your Juul? He goes, well, 20 minutes or so. And I'm going, yeah, okay. He was shocked that he was addicted. And that's the really insidious thing about this whole thing. The vaping industry has gone down the exact same road that the cigarette industry did 60 years ago. Make it socially acceptable. That's how you're cool. That's how you appear older. And it really is not that bad for you. And it took until, even though the warnings went up 60 years ago, on the packages. It took until just a few years ago for people to finally realize that it's really bad for you. They've done the exact same thing. It's right out of the textbook. So that's really what made me get started, and reason I'm so passionate about this subject.
Okay, great. What led you to joining Matchmaker?
I was looking for a forum that would allow me to get to people who have established podcasts that are concerned about their audiences and want to get information to them that really is life-changing and life-changing for their children. And it looked to me in my research that Matchmaker was the best way to do it.
Okay, great. And what was the reason you decided to sort of start guesting on podcasts?
I thought it was really a viable way to get to people who are concerned in parenting and health and things like that, and really will take action when they find out something that they need to do. And I thought that the podcasting was a way to do it because people wouldn't be here if they weren't concerned. If they didn't want information, they wouldn't be here. So I figured, well, let's go right to the source. So
your target in terms of the podcasts you try and collaborate with, they're mainly targeted towards parents, are they?
Yes, it is really now. And parents, people that are interested in health. Everybody knows somebody who's vaping. There's just no doubt about that. We got like 5 million kids that are high school age and under, and they just don't know that it's bad for you. So that's where I want to go. I want to get to the parents because they're the ones that are going to be able to make the changes that are going to stop this this activity.
Okay, great. And I'm curious to hear about your results. Have you had success with the platform?
I'm new to the platform, but yes, it people seem to be responding well. It's information. The book is available, so people can get it, and they find out about it through these podcasts. And I think that it's the credibility that the people have built up, and if there's that credibility, their guests are willing to look at new information. So. Yeah, it can be. I think it's very successful, and I think it'll get more and more as our communications change.
And I'm intrigued to know, what's your perspective on why podcasting is popular? Do you have an opinion on why is podcasting a great medium as opposed to, say, creating YouTube videos or posting on social media? Do you think there's a different element of communication there?
Absolutely, I believe there's a different element because this is something that I think that people are going to is to not just entertainment. They're, the YouTube stuff and other venues and that, people want to do that when they're filling time. I believe if you're going to podcast, you're specifically looking for something. And I think it has more credibility. And as more people become familiar with it, I think it gets bigger and bigger. So the best way to get to targeted individuals who are looking for the knowledge that you have.
And would you recommend this to other people who are in a similar field to you? So, medical professionals, other doctors, researchers who are trying to, promote a book or promote a service or kind of develop a program in a specific area?
Oh, absolutely. And, we have a couple, our medical advisor, is right in the middle, works in a hospital. She's right in the middle of this whole COVID-19 thing. And there's information that people need to get. And they're starving for good information. It's not just random information. I think it's a way to target the market and get information that the people are really looking for. There's a million different answers out there on the internet. And most of them aren't very good. But I think podcasting narrows things down. So absolutely, I talk to, I have some colleagues that are looking to do the same type of thing. So yes, I do recommend it.
Okay, thanks very much, Dr. Richard. And just to finish up, if people want to find out more about you, how can they learn more?
Well, you can go to kickbuttsprogram.com, KICKBUTTS program.com, and there you can get information on both the our smoking program and the book, what people need, want, and should know about vaping and e-cigarettes, and get the information there. And if they have questions, they can contact us through that.
There is an easier way to get booked onto more podcasts as a guest. Join matchmaker.fm for free today and start making connections with podcasters who are looking for guests just like you.